Hi everyone, I'm Jennifer from English with Jennifer. Let me ask you something. How much time do you need to get your point across to people? Take a quick quiz. Do you like to tell stories? When you tell a story, does your listener start to look distracted? Do you sometimes go off topic, meaning you start talking about something that seems more interesting? Do people often ask you, "What do you mean?" Do people sometimes respond with, "So what you're saying is..." If you answered yes to any of those questions, you may need more time than others to convey an idea or relay a message, and that's okay as long as you have a patient listener. But maybe it would help to summarize a point and simply be more concise. That's what I'll teach you to do in this video. In a word, you can use this at the beginning, in the middle, or at the end of an explanation as a way to be brief. Use it before a single word or a short thought. How can you improve your mental performance? In a word, sleep better. Your sleep affects your brain. Improve the quality of your sleep and you'll perform better. Why do some people post photos every day, throughout the day? Social media is, in a word, social. Some people are more social than others. They feel the need to connect more strongly than others. In a nutshell. This is the same kind of phrase, but it's a bit more informal. A nutshell is very small, so we use this phrase to summarize or make a brief statement. How do you learn vocabulary? In a nutshell, you need exposure and practice. Make sure you read and listen to English, then find ways to use new words. Why do some diets fail to work? Different sources will tell you what to eat and what not to eat. That's your basic diet in a nutshell. But everybody's body is different, so a diet that works for one person may not work for another. In short, this is a good informal alternative to "in conclusion" or "to summarize." Let's just say I've listed all the benefits of being a member of my Patreon program. You know about the Zoom classes and practice tasks and the bonus audio materials. In short, it's an ongoing program that combines group and independent study for advanced learners who wish to work on all skills. At the end of the day, what's a typical day like? I think we know what matters most at the end of the day. Did we complete our work? Did we do the best we could? Did we try to be helpful and kind to others? If so, then we can forgive the little mistakes we made along the way. When you have to take a lot into consideration and then form an opinion, you can choose to focus on what matters most by saying, "At the end of the day..." The decision to go to college, for instance, is a big one. There are many factors to consider. Young adults today have more choices than I did when I was 18. College isn't the only path forward. The internet makes lifelong learning possible. So at the end of the day, a high school graduate needs to decide what's best for them based on their goals, the lifestyle they want to live, and their financial situation. In the end, this is a similar way to sum up what matters most and express an opinion. For example, I recently had to replace the water heater in my home. I paid more than I thought it would be, but in the end, I reasoned that I was making a good investment. Water heaters last for at least 10 years, and I'm not willing to live without hot water, so I paid to have a quality product installed by professionals. You might also use "in the end" as you're finishing up a story, but here's a more colorful way to do that. Long story short. You can say this to shorten an otherwise long story, skip some of the details, and simply tell what happened in the end. Do you know how I ended up teaching English? Originally, I thought I was going to teach Russian as a foreign language. I got certified in the state of Pennsylvania. Then I decided that I needed to improve my Russian language skills. My graduate work took me over to Moscow. Long story short, I discovered my true calling, and I got certified in ESL when I came back home. When all is said and done. This is yet another very conversational way to sum up your point. What matters and why? Typically, we use this at the beginning of a statement after laying out a bigger argument. When's the last time you gave thought to a problem in your country? Big or small? There's plenty to think about, right? One of my private students recently traveled to Singapore, and she told me how clean it was because they have strict laws against littering and even chewing gum. Sadly, our cities here in the US are not pristine. So what's the difference? Well, when all is said and done, it's about education and accountability. First, people have to be taught at a young age not to litter. And second, there should be consequences. Laws need to be enforced. Why don't you consider a big or small problem that your country faces? Use one of the expressions from this lesson to tell me your opinion, and be concise.
So, what's the plan?
In a word, you.
In a nutshell, yes.
So like, in short, what are my options here?
At the end of the day, all that matters is what you think.
In the end, I'd probably lose.
Long story short, I've been dealing with some personal crap.
But after all is said and done, you did get me home, and I really appreciate it.
If you're looking for extended speaking or writing practice, check out my Patreon program for advanced learners. Details are in the video description. That's all for now. Please like and share the video if you found the lesson useful. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. Thank you to all my current YouTube members and patrons on Patreon. Thank you everyone for watching, and I wish you happy studies. I'd like to say a special thank you to a kind-hearted patron. Lieber pledged $2 a month. Thank you. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Patreon. And don't forget to subscribe here on YouTube. Turn on those notifications.